The Bengal tiger, a name that conjures images of raw power, silent stalking, and untamed wilderness. But this is no mere predator. This is a phantom, a ghost draped in fire and shadow, moving through the jungle with a grace that defies its massive frame. Stripes like brushstrokes of midnight across a canvas of burning orange. Eyes that glow with ancient intelligence. A creature so perfectly adapted to its world that it seems to dissolve into the dappled light and dense foliage. The largest cat in Asia, a male can weigh over 500 pounds, stretch 10 feet from nose to tail, yet vanish into grass barely tall enough to hide a dog. This is the enigma of the Bengal tiger. A solitary hunter, a devoted parent, a symbol of wilderness itself. To understand the Bengal tiger is to understand the delicate balance of an entire ecosystem. For this apex predator shapes the forest, controls prey populations, and maintains the health of the jungle. Without the tiger, the forest unravels. With it, life thrives in complex harmony. The Bengal tiger's domain stretches across the Indian subcontinent, from the mangrove swamps of the Sundarbans to the dry forests of central India, from the foothills of the Himalayas to the tropical jungles of the south. Each habitat demands different strategies, different skills. In the Sundarbans, tigers have learned to swim through tidal channels, hunt in brackish water, and navigate a labyrinth of waterways. They drink salt water, patrol territories that shift with the tides, and have even been observed swimming several kilometers between islands. These are tigers that have mastered an amphibious existence, as comfortable in water as on land. In the dense jungles of central India, the tiger becomes a creature of shadows. The sal forests, thick with undergrowth and towering trees, provide perfect cover. Here, the tiger uses terrain, moving along natural corridors, dry riverbeds, and forest trails. The dappled sunlight filtering through the canopy creates a shifting mosaic of light and shadow, and the tiger's stripes, unique as human fingerprints, break up its outline perfectly. No two tigers wear the same pattern. Each is an individual masterpiece, evolution's signature written in contrasting bands. The stripes are not merely decorative. They are functional camouflage, disrupting the visual continuity of the tiger's body, making it nearly invisible in tall grass and dense vegetation. Even at close range, a motionless tiger can be impossible to detect. The white spots on the back of each ear, called ocelli, serve a different purpose entirely. They may help cubs follow their mother through dense jungle, or they may intimidate rivals, creating the illusion of eyes watching from behind. Every aspect of the tiger's appearance is purposeful, honed by millions of years of predatory perfection. The tiger's body is a marvel of engineering. Powerful shoulders and forelimbs built for grappling and pulling down prey many times its size. Hind legs like coiled springs, capable of launching the tiger forward in explosive bursts. The spine is incredibly flexible, allowing the tiger to twist, turn, and adjust mid-leap. Retractable claws, each as long as a human finger, remain razor-sharp because they are sheathed when not in use. These claws are weapons of terrible efficiency, capable of tearing through hide, muscle, and bone. The jaw is a hydraulic press, delivering a bite force exceeding 1,000 pounds per square inch. Canine teeth up to 3 inches long are precision instruments designed to sever the spinal cord or crush the windpipe. A tiger does not maul its prey to death. It kills with calculated precision, targeting the throat or the back of the neck, delivering a swift, fatal bite. Death comes quickly, a mercy in the brutal calculus of survival. But power means nothing without stealth. The tiger is a stalking predator, an ambush hunter that relies on patience, timing, and an almost supernatural ability to read the landscape. A hunt begins long before the final charge. The tiger uses every sense, every advantage. Vision is acute, especially in low light. The tiger's eyes contain a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, which amplifies available light, giving the tiger superior night vision. This is a creature built for twilight and darkness, for the hours when prey is most vulnerable and visibility is poor. Hearing is extraordinarily sensitive. Large mobile ears rotate independently, scanning for the slightest sound. The snap of a twig, the rustle of leaves, the alarm call of a deer. The tiger processes this information constantly, building a mental map of its surroundings. It knows where every creature is, what they are doing, whether they are alert or relaxed. The sense of smell, while not as developed as in some predators, still provides crucial information. The tiger can detect the scent of prey on the wind, identify individuals, and read the chemical signals left by other tigers. Scent marking is the primary means of communication in this solitary species. The tiger patrols its territory regularly, spraying urine mixed with scent gland secretions onto trees, rocks, and vegetation. These marks announce ownership, reproductive status, and identity. A male's territory can span 50 square miles or more, overlapping the smaller territories of several females. He patrols constantly, refreshing marks, listening for rivals, and monitoring the females within his domain. Territorial disputes are rare but savage. When two males meet, the confrontation can be fatal. They roar, a sound that carries for miles, a deep, resonant bellow that shakes the air and announces dominance. If neither backs down, they fight. Claws slash, jaws snap, and the forest floor becomes a battleground. These encounters are brutal and exhausting. The victor claims the territory and the breeding rights. The loser, if he survives, retreats to the margins, searching for unclaimed land or waiting for another opportunity. For the female, territory is about resources. She needs sufficient prey to sustain herself and her cubs. She needs water, cover, and denning sites. Her territory is smaller, more focused, centered on the best hunting grounds and the safest places to raise young. She is less tolerant of other females, defending her range against intrusion. But she is also pragmatic. If prey is abundant, territories may overlap slightly. If resources are scarce, she will fight to protect what she has. The hunt itself is a masterclass in patience and precision. The tiger begins by selecting a target. Deer, wild boar, water buffalo, even young elephants and rhinos if the opportunity arises. The tiger assesses the herd, looking for weakness. The old, the sick, the young, the distracted. Once a target is chosen, the stalk begins. The tiger moves with agonizing slowness, lowering its body until its belly nearly touches the ground. Each step is deliberate, weight shifted carefully to avoid snapping twigs or rustling leaves. The tiger uses cover obsessively, moving from bush to bush, from shadow to shadow, always keeping the wind in its favor so its scent does not betray it. The prey, meanwhile, remains vigilant. Deer have evolved alongside tigers for millennia. They know the danger. They scan constantly, ears swiveling, nostrils testing the air. The slightest hint of a tiger sends them bounding away. The tiger knows this. It does not rush. It waits for the perfect moment, the instant when the prey's attention wavers, when it lowers its head to graze, when it turns away. The tiger closes the distance, sometimes taking an hour to cover 50 meters, 30 meters, 20, 15. The muscles coil, the eyes lock onto the target, 10 meters, and then explosion. The tiger launches forward in a blur of motion, covering the final distance in seconds. The prey reacts, but often too late. The tiger's claws extend, hooking into flesh, pulling the animal down. The jaws close around the throat. The struggle is brief. The prey's legs kick, then still. Silence returns to the forest, but success is never guaranteed. Most hunts fail. The prey detects the tiger too soon, or the terrain does not provide enough cover, or the tiger misjudges the distance. Hunting is exhausting, and failure is common. A tiger may succeed only once in every 10 or 20 attempts. This is why the tiger is an opportunist, taking whatever it can whenever it can. After a successful kill, the tiger drags the carcass to cover, sometimes hauling prey weighing as much as itself over considerable distances. The tiger feeds immediately, consuming as much as 40 pounds of meat in a single sitting. It will return to the kill over several days, guarding it from scavengers, feeding until nothing remains but bones and hide. This feast or famine existence is typical of apex predators, days of hunger followed by abundance. The tiger's body is adapted to this rhythm, capable of gorging and then fasting for extended periods. But the tiger is not merely a killer. It is also a parent, and the bond between a tigress and her cubs is one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom. The tigress gives birth in a hidden den, a cave, a hollow beneath a fallen tree, or a dense thicket. The location is chosen with care, away from the territories of males, who may kill cubs to bring the female back into estrus. She gives birth to a litter of 2 to 4 cubs, each weighing barely 2 pounds, blind, helpless, utterly dependent. For the first weeks, she rarely leaves them, nursing constantly, keeping them warm and moving them if the den is discovered. The cubs open their eyes after about 2 weeks. They begin to explore, to play, to develop the coordination and strength they will need to survive. Play is not frivolous. It is practice. The cubs stalk each other, pounce, wrestle, and bite. They are learning the skills of the hunt, the timing, the balance, the precision. The tigress is patient but firm. She teaches by example, bringing small prey back to the den, allowing the cubs to practice their killing bite on already dead animals. As they grow, she takes them on hunts, showing them how to move, how to read the wind, how to choose a target. The cubs watch, absorb, and imitate. This is education by immersion, learning through observation and repetition. By 6 months, the cubs are weaning, beginning to eat meat regularly. By a year, they are accompanying their mother on hunts, though they are still clumsy and ineffective. By 18 months, they are attempting their own kills with mixed success. The tigress remains the primary provider, but she encourages independence. She pushes them to try, to fail, to learn. This apprenticeship lasts nearly 2 years. During this time, the tigress is constantly vigilant. She must hunt not only for herself but for her growing cubs. She must defend them from leopards, wild dogs, and male tigers. She must teach them to avoid humans, to recognize danger, to survive in a world that offers no second chances. The bond is intense, but it is not permanent. At around 2 years of age, the cubs are ready to disperse. The tigress becomes less tolerant, driving them away, forcing them to establish their own territories. The young males wander widely, searching for unclaimed land, often traveling hundreds of kilometers. Many die during this vulnerable period, killed by resident males, by poachers, or by starvation. The young females often settle closer to their mother's territory, sometimes inheriting portions of it. The cycle begins again. The tigress, now alone, comes back into estrus. She calls, a series of low moans that carry through the forest. A male responds. They mate repeatedly over several days, a temporary alliance that dissolves as quickly as it formed. The male returns to his solitary existence. The female, if successful, will give birth in 3 to 4 months. And so the rhythm continues, generation after generation, the tiger's legacy written in stripes and silence. But this ancient rhythm is faltering. The Bengal tiger, once numbering in the tens of thousands, now clings to survival. Fewer than 3,000 remain in the wild, scattered across fragmented habitats, isolated populations struggling against mounting pressures. The greatest threat is habitat loss. Forests are cleared for agriculture, for development, for human expansion. The tiger's range has shrunk by over 90% in the last century. What remains is often fragmented, isolated pockets separated by roads, farms, and cities. Tigers cannot move between these fragments. Populations become isolated, gene pools shrink, and the risk of inbreeding increases. Prey depletion is another critical issue. As forests shrink, so do prey populations. Deer, boar, and other herbivores are hunted by humans, reducing the food available for tigers. A hungry tiger is a desperate tiger. It will take livestock, bringing it into conflict with humans. Retaliatory killings follow. A tiger that kills a cow is often poisoned or shot. In some areas, this conflict is the primary cause of tiger mortality. Poaching remains a dire threat. Despite international bans, the illegal trade in tiger parts continues. Tiger bones, skins, and body parts are valued in traditional medicine markets, fetching enormous prices. A single tiger can be worth tens of thousands of dollars on the black market. Poachers use snares, poison, and guns. They are often well-organized, well-funded, and difficult to stop. Rangers risk their lives to protect tigers, but the battle is unequal. For every poacher caught, others take their place. Human-tiger conflict is escalating. As human populations grow and encroach further into tiger habitat, encounters become more frequent. Tigers occasionally attack humans, particularly in areas like the Sundarbans, where dense vegetation and poor visibility create dangerous conditions. Each attack fuels fear and resentment, making conservation more difficult. Climate change adds another layer of uncertainty. Rising sea levels threaten the Sundarbans, the largest remaining tiger habitat. Changing rainfall patterns affect prey populations. Extreme weather events destroy dens and disrupt breeding. The future is uncertain, the challenge is immense, yet there is hope. Conservation efforts are making a difference. Protected reserves, anti-poaching patrols, and community-based conservation programs are helping tiger populations stabilize and even grow in some areas. India's Project Tiger, launched decades ago, has created a network of reserves where tigers are protected and monitored. These reserves are not perfect, but they have provided refuge, allowing populations to recover. Technology is becoming a powerful tool. Camera traps allow researchers to monitor tigers without disturbance, identifying individuals by their stripe patterns, tracking movements, and estimating population sizes. GPS collars provide real-time data on tiger behavior, revealing how they use the landscape where they hunt and how they interact. This information is crucial for effective management. Community involvement is essential. Local people must see tigers as an asset, not a threat. Ecotourism provides income, creating incentives to protect tigers rather than kill them. Compensation schemes for livestock losses reduce conflict. Education programs build understanding and support. When communities benefit from tiger conservation, they become partners in protection. Corridors are being established to connect isolated populations, allowing tigers to move between reserves, maintaining genetic diversity and resilience. These corridors are often simple stretches of forest, but they are lifelines, enabling the flow of genes and individuals across the landscape. Translocation programs are moving tigers from high-density areas to suitable habitats where they have been extirpated, re-establishing populations and expanding the species' range. Anti-poaching efforts are intensifying. Rangers are better equipped, better trained, and supported by technology. Drones, sensors, and intelligence networks are making it harder for poachers to operate. International cooperation is disrupting trafficking networks, closing markets, and reducing demand. The fight is far from over, but progress is being made. The Bengal tiger's survival is not inevitable. It depends on choices we make today. Protect remaining forests, expand and connect reserves. Support anti-poaching efforts. Reduce human-tiger conflict through education, compensation, and coexistence strategies. Address climate change. Promote sustainable development that values biodiversity. Every action matters. Every hectare of forest protected, every poacher arrested, every community engaged, every tourist who chooses responsible wildlife viewing. These efforts accumulate, building a foundation for the tiger's future. The Bengal tiger is more than a species. It is a symbol of wilderness, of the wild places that still exist, of the possibility that humans and nature can coexist. To see a tiger in the wild is to witness something profound, a connection to the ancient world, a reminder that we share this planet with creatures of extraordinary power and beauty. The tiger asks nothing of us but space, prey, and protection from persecution. In return, it offers the forest its balance, its health, its vitality. The tiger is the architect of the ecosystem, shaping the jungle through its presence, its predation, its very existence. Without the tiger, the forest is diminished, incomplete. With it, the jungle thrives, a testament to the intricate web of life. The enigmatic phantom of the jungle, draped in fire and shadow, moves silently through the undergrowth. It pauses, listening, watching. The forest holds its breath. And then, like smoke, the tiger vanishes, dissolving into the green, a ghost that exists only in glimpses, in tracks, in the stories we tell. But it is there, and as long as it endures, so does the wild heart of the jungle. A future where tigers roam free is a future worth fighting for. A world where the phantom still haunts the forest, where the enigma endures, where the jungle echoes with the roar of the apex predator. This is the promise we must keep. For the tiger, for the forest, for ourselves.